Hello students, I am Akshay Deshpande and welcome to CET Sankalp. So today we will proceed further with the same chapter, that is the mineral nutrition that we had discussed in the last class. And we had discussed various concepts in the last class, mainly that are concerned with the hydroponics. We looked into the criteria for essentiality. We also looked into the important micro and macronutrients, and we also looked into the roles of the micro and macronutrients, or what function they do. Also, we further discussed about the toxicity of the micro and macronutrients, and also the deficiency symptoms we discussed, and also we ended our discussion finally with the mechanism of absorption. Of course, we did not discuss about the translocation of solutes, because translocation of solutes you people have studied in your previous chapter, that is the transport in plants. So you don't have to worry about it. The same things will be asked here also, right? So this is where we had stopped our discussion, and we discussed some questions also. But now in this class we will proceed further, and in this part of the class we will be mainly trying to understand the biological nitrogen fixation and natural nitrogen fixation. Okay, so these are the concepts that we will try to study. So the class is going to be short, and we will look into some of the important reactions, and again we will be seeing the examples that are concerned with these processes and also the reactions, which you have to remember. Okay, so in general, in the last class I forgot to mention, in general, what is the number of questions you may expect in the mineral nutrition is that around at least one question in your CET. Okay, or you can expect around two questions in your NEET examinations. Okay, in your NEET examination you will expect around two questions or one question at least in CET examination. Okay, so the chances or the probability of the questions coming from role of micronutrients. Okay, role of micronutrients, and also they may ask about the nitrogen fixation, which we will discuss in this class. Okay, nitrogen fixing process. Okay, so probably you may expect two or three questions, at least two questions, what I feel, based on the previous year trends of the examinations. The two questions may be from these two parts, either the role of the micronutrients, that is the function, and one more we are having is the nitrogen fixing processes, that is the nitrogen metabolism, what we call. So based on that, you can expect the questions. So let's start our class on the soil as a reservoir of nutrients. Okay, soil as a reservoir of nutrients. So now what do we mean by soil as a reservoir of nutrients? See, ultimately plant grows in the what we call the soil, right? So soil is the ultimate place where actually your plant will be growing, right? So as a result, soil will be having all the required nutrients. Okay, now what do we mean by required nutrients? For example, the soil is the main thing that is actually having the organic nutrients. Not only organic nutrients you observe, at the same time you'll also even observe the mineral nutrients that we are discussing in this class. Okay, mineral nutrients, right? And also it is the thing that is having the water. Okay, ultimately the water availability in the plant or water status in the plant is mainly because of the water holding capacity of the soil, right? And also at the same time, even the air space in soil, air space or air pockets in the case of soil. Now, air space and air pocket in the soil is also very much helpful for the breathing or transfer of gases, at least a diffusion in the roots, right? It is important over here. Okay, I use the word breathing, but in other terms we are referring to the term diffusion of gases. Okay, so how soil is actually formed, right? So we have looked here that soil is actually part of all these components. Soil nalli ಮಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಮಿನರಲ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನೀರು ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಈವನ್ ಏರ್ ಕೂಡ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಹೌ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಡ್? Soil is actually formed because of the weathering of rocks. Okay, soil is mainly because of weathering of rocks. What do you mean by weathering of rocks? Weathering of rocks antandre the rock is actually exposed to natural weather conditions. Natural weather conditions. Weather conditions, right? So what do you mean by natural weather conditions? Rain ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಸನ್ಲೈಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಹೀಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಹ್ಯೂಮಿಡಿಟಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಈ ಥರ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ರಾಕು ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋಸ್ಡ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋಜರ್ ದ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ರಾಕ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ಪೌಡರಿಂಗ್ ಡೌನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಪುಡಿ ಪುಡಿಯಾಗಿ ಉದುರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈ ಥರ ಉದುರಿನೇ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪೌಡರ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ the powdering of rocks is mainly rich in source of mineral nutrients. Organic nutrients is mainly coming because of dead and decaying organisms. Okay, soil nalliruhanta organic content is mainly because of dead and decaying organisms in the bartude, right? Now, because of all these, we can say that soil is enriched with the nutrients. Enriched with the nutrients in the sense we are speaking of both organic nutrients, mineral nutrients and all. Now, not only you find only organic materials and mineral nutrients, at the same time, soil is also the home, or it is the place where you find many microbes also. And adrally, we are interested with one category of microbes that is called as the nitrogen fixing bacteria anta karitivi. Nitrogen fixing bacteria. Now, nitrogen fixing bacteria, they may be either symbiotic or they may be either free living. Now, symbiotic we have discussed. Okay, the nitrogen fixing bacteria, they may be either symbiotic or free living. Free living antandre they are living on themselves. They don't have any kind of association with the living organisms. But whereas symbiotism or mutualism antandre, where one organism is always found with the presence of another organisms. Both organisms need help of each other. It is called a symbiosis or mutualism anta karitivi. Okay, so soil nalli you also find these nitrogen fixing bacteria also. Nitrogen fixing bacteria. Also we mentioned that it is containing water and air, right? So now what happens is that when you grow crops and all, the soil quality slowly starts to deteriorate. Okay, slowly starts to degrade anta karitivi. The soil quality may decrease. The soil quality may decrease in course of time. In course of time, the soil quality may actually decrease. So now what happens is, if the soil quality decreases, the crop or plant will not actually grow in such kind of soil. So to prevent that, we can actually enrich the soil. Enrich the soil ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ soil ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊದಲಿರುವಂತ ಗುಣಮಟ್ಟನ ಮತ್ತೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ತರಬಹುದು. Okay, and we can do it by adding the fertilizers. Now, fertilizers are actually the mixture of all these mineral nutrients, and also in some cases it contains some amount of organic materials also. Okay, so adding the fertilizers to the soil, ನಾವು ಸಾಯಿಲ್ಗೆ ಈ ಥರ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ದು ಗುಣಮಟ್ಟ ಮತ್ತೆ ವಾಪಸ್ಸು ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಗೆ ರಿಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ how soil is mainly playing an important role in throughout the growth and development of the plant. Now, let us look into the metabolism of nitrogen. Okay, the metabolism of nitrogen we actually study through nitrogen cycle. Okay, nitrogen cycle. Now, generally, the nitrogen cycle is a type of what we can call as an biogeochemical cycle, right? It is called as biogeochemical cycles. So now biogeochemical cycles are the cycles where the recycling of mineral nutrients are observed. Recycle of minerals. Recycle of minerals are mainly observed. So nitrogen cycle is one type of biogeochemical cycles. You are having oxygen cycle, you are having carbon cycle, you are having carbon cycle, and you are having phosphorus cycle, you are having sulfur cycle, right? So biogeochemical cycles are maybe, generally they are gaseous cycles. Okay, yes. So one such gaseous biogeochemical cycle we are having is the nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen cycle, right? So now ultimately we see that the nitrogen that is available for the plant, it is mainly absorbed in the form of nitrates and nitrites. Now plant does not have the ability to absorb the atmospheric nitrogen. The plants do not have the ability to absorb the nitrogen from the ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರಿಂದ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸಿಗೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋವಂಥ ನೈಟ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್, ಓಕೆ, ಸಾಯಿಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋವಂಥ ನೈಟ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್, ಓಕೆ, ನೈಟ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ದಿ NO 3-. Nitrites, what we call as NO 2-, right? So nitrites ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಅವೈಲಬಲ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ಹವೆವರ್ ದೀಸ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಆರ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಯೆಂಟ್ಸು ಬರೀ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಷ್ಟೇ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಈವನ್ ದಿ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಬ್ಸ್. ಈವನ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಬ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ನೀಡ್ ದೀಸ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ಈ ನೈಟ್ರೈಟ್ಸು ಮತ್ತು ನೈಟ್ರೇಟ್ಸು ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್. ಹೌ? For the amino acids. Amino acids, right? So hagagi what happens is the nitrates and nitrites are limited in the soil. Yavaga they are limited, it becomes problem for the plants to get a good amount of nitrogen in the form of nitrates and nitrites. So in such cases what happens is that nitrogen can be made available to the plants in the form of nitrites and nitrates by some organisms, and this is called as the nitrogen fixation by converting nitrogen to ammonia, by converting the nitrogen to the ammonia, right? So if the organisms are doing these reactions, converting the nitrogen into ammonia, this reaction, if it is done by the living organisms, then we call it as biological nitrogen fixation. Okay, but in majority of the cases even nature also take cares of this. Okay, even nature ಕೂಡ ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲಿ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ನ ಅಮೋನಿಯಾ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Okay, that is also the actual, we can say, nitrogen cycle, what we can call. So here we are actually having the representation, diagrammatic representation of the nitrogen cycle, which also discusses about the nitrogen fixation, right? So now the atmospheric nitrogen, okay, nitrogen is the, what we can say in the atmosphere, highest percentage. It is highest percentage in the atmosphere, if you know. Okay, if you remember from your basic geography class, we know that nitrogen is in the atmosphere, nitrogen is having the highest percentage of composition. Okay, yeah. So this atmospheric nitrogen is basically used for biological fixation, nitrogen, okay, which it is converted into ammonia. Okay, it is converted into what? Ammonia, right? From ammonia it is converted into, what we can say here we are having is the nitrite, NO2-. From nitrite it is converted into nitrate. Now these molecules come in the soil pool because of nitrogen oxides. We are having a reservoir of nitrogen oxides. Okay, the nitrogen oxide mainly includes the nitric oxide, and also we are having is the nitrogen dioxide, and one more is the nitrous oxide. Okay, N2O mainly means the nitrous oxide, NO2 mainly includes the nitrogen dioxide, and NO means nitric oxide. Nitrous oxide, nitric dioxide, and what we can call nitric oxide. Right? Yes. So the atmospheric nitrogen is actually converted into first state, that is what we call as the nitrogen oxides. And the converting of nitrogen to nitrogen oxides is mainly done because of natural lightning. Natural lightning process. The lightning process will mainly convert the nitrogen to nitric oxides, right? Yes. So even atmospheric even the industrial fixation, okay, even the industrial fixation means vehicles in ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತ exhaust ಏನಿರ್ತದಲ್ಲ, even that is also source of these nitric oxides, what we can say, right? And finally, these nitric oxides are ultimately converted into the nitrites and the nitrates. They're converted into nitrites and the nitrates, what we call. Now this nitrite and nitrate, mainly the nitrate, what we are speaking of, present in the soil is taken up by the plants, right? And ultimately plants na consume ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾವ್ದಪ್ಪ ನಮ್ಗಿರೋದು animals, right? So finally, after the death of plants and death of the animals, they start to decay. They start to decay, right? And these nitrogen, which is mainly present in the animal body and plant body, is converted back to ammonia. Is converted back to ammonia, decaying biomass. Okay, conversion of nitrogen to back to ammonia is called as ammonification. It is called as the ammonification, right? Now, some of the ammonia again becomes volatile and re-enters what we can say back to atmosphere. Again, it enters back to the atmosphere. This is how the nitrogen cycle actually runs in the ecosystem run ago nitrogen hige. Okay, so remember, we can just go through a revision part over here. Atmospheric nitrogen ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ, it is actually fixed into in the form of ammonia. We will actually look into these reactions first, right? So now the ammonia ಏನು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ industrial fixation ಮುಖಾಂತರ, biological fixation ಮುಖಾಂತರ, right? It is converted into the nitrites, and from nitrites it is converted into the nitrates, right? The nitrates in soil ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದಲ್ಲ, it is taken up by the plants, and also plants na feed ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾವ್ದು ನಮಗೆ, mainly herbivores. And of course herbivores ಇಂದ carnivores ಬಾಡಿ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದೇ ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. So at after the death of the animals and also the plants, they start to decay, and the nitrogen which is present in their body goes back to become into ammonia. And this process of converting the decaying from the decaying biomass, the conversion of nitrogen back to ammonia is called as the ammonification, right? And this ammonia again goes back to the atmospheric nitrogen and joins back to again this atmosphere. Now remember, even the nitrogen oxides, that is nitric oxide and nitrogen dioxide and nitrous oxide, okay, nitrous oxide, they are the main source, right? They are the main source. They are mainly converted, they are actually converted into these what we can say oxides of nitrogen with the help of lightning from nitrogen. Okay, from nitrogen they are converted into oxides of nitrogen, and they are used for further conversion into ammonia and the nitrites and the nitrates, right? So this is mainly the nitrogen cycle what we are looking over here. So here the ammonia what we get after the dead and from the dead and decaying organisms, generally we see that it is converted into nitrate by two steps. by nitrate into two steps. And interestingly, both these steps require the bacteria, right? The first step, you see that the ammonia is actually converted into the nitrite. It is converted into nitrite over here. ಇಲ್ಲಿ nitrite ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಹೌದಾ? ಅಮೋನಿಯಾ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು nitrite ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. And this reaction is mainly done by Nitrosomonas or Nitrococcus bacteria. Okay, Nitrosomonas or Nitrobacter, Nitrosomonas or Nitrococcus bacteria ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, right? And finally, this what we can say, the nitrite is converted into the nitrate. It is mainly converted into, oxidized into nitrate. And this second step reaction is mainly done by the bacteria called as the Nitrobacter. So you have to remember these examples, which is important. The first step, conversion of ammonia to the nitrite, is done by the Nitrosomonas and Nitrococcus. And finally, the conversion of the nitrite to the nitrate is mainly done by the Nitrobacter. So now we call these two categories, these two bacteria, as chemoautotrophs. Chemoautotrophs. Remember, they are called as chemoautotrophs. What do we mean by chemoautotrophs? Chemoautotrophs are the organisms which can produce their own food material. They are called as autotrophs. Okay, but however, they are not using the sunlight for this process. They are mainly dependent on inorganic nutrients. So if they are synthesizing their own food material from inorganic nutrients, they are called as chemoautotrophs. Now, this nitrate, what you see in the case of soil, which is converted by these bacteria, are finally absorbed by the plants, right? So we can erase this. So the nitrate, what you see is, which is the final product of this whole two-step reaction, is finally absorbed by the case of plants. Okay, but however, this is a very slow process, and also the nitrate that is generated by these processes are very less. Okay, yes. Now, interestingly, these nitrates, sometimes the nitrates again is reduced back to the nitrogen. You also see that these nitrates are again reduced back to nitrogen, and we refer this process as a denitrification. And this process of denitrification is done by two categories or two examples of bacteria. The first one we are having is the Pseudomonas, and one more is the Theobacillus. Okay, Pseudomonas and the Theobacillus, they reduce the nitrate back to the nitrogen. So now let us look into the next part, that is the biological nitrogen fixation. So now in the previous slide, we actually looked into the mechanism how the nitrate and nitrate are actually available to the plants by the regular nitrogen cycle. But however, the issue is such amount of or such nitrate is very less in quantity. As a result, what happens is the plants are actually having some association. They are having some friendly symbiotic associations with bacteria or prokaryotes. Now, these prokaryotes are actually very special. Okay, these prokaryotes are actually special. Now, in what sense they are actually special? They are special in the sense that they can actually fix the atmospheric nitrogen. Okay, they have the ability to fix the atmospheric nitrogen. Andre nitrogen in atmosphere ಇರ್ತದಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಅದನ್ನ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಅಮೋನಿಯಾ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಒಂದು ಸಲ ಅಮೋನಿಯಾ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅಮೋನಿಯಾ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಮುಂದೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಾವು ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಮೋನಿಯಾ ಇಸ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದಿ ನೈಟ್ರೈಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ನೈಟ್ರೈಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದಿ ನೈಟ್ರೇಟ್, ರೈಟ್? ಎಸ್. ಸೊ these organisms, we call them as N2 fixers, nitrogen fixers. Okay, N2 fixers. So N2 fixers are basically the organisms or microbes which have the ability to fix the atmospheric nitrogen, right? And this process what we call that is a fixing of atmospheric nitrogen or a reduction of nitrogen into ammonia by the organisms is called as the biological nitrogen fixation. So now if you look into the reaction over here, the nitrogen, that is, it is made up of two nitrogen. It is having a 3 bond over here. It is having what? 3 bonds, as you can look over here, right? So in each step, what happens is this enzyme called as the nitrogenase removes each and every bond. Okay, it removes a single bond from the 3 bond structure and adds 3 hydrogen molecules. 3 hydrogen molecules to give us ammonia. The product is what? Ammonia, right? So hence we can say that the final product of the biological nitrogen fixation, or the first stable product of this process, is mainly the ammonia. Remember, let's remember this as ammonia. So now let us look into some of the important examples, right? So we are having aerobic bacteria or aerobic microbes and anaerobic microbes, right? And they may be either symbiotic or they may be even free living bacteria. Okay, so we know the definitions of these symbiotic bacteria or symbiotic organisms or even free living organisms. Now aerobic microbes and anaerobic microbes means aerobic microbes mainly require the oxygen, but whereas anaerobic microbes do not require any kind of oxygen. ಯಾವುದೇ ತರ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಬೇಕಾಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಆರ್ಗಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಗೆ anaerobic ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಮೈಕ್ರೋಬ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಇದ್ದು and they are completely aerobic in nature. For example, Azotobacter and one more is the Beigerinkia are two example which are free living and also they are aerobic microbes. But whereas there are some free living anaerobic microbes. For example, we are having Rhodospirillum. Rhodospirillum is one example which is actually free living, but it is an anaerobic. It does not require oxygen. There is no requirement of oxygen to this particular bacteria. Now we are having cyanobacteria, that is the blue-green algae. Okay, blue-green algae, right? So Arabina nostoc. Anabina and nostoc, they are basically two examples of which belong to cyanobacteria, right? So even these two blue-green algae, cyanobacteria, what they are also called as, they have the ability to fix the atmospheric nitrogen, right? They are having a very unique cell structures called as the heterocysts. Nostoc, heterocyst. Nostoc actually has these kind of cells called as the heterocysts, which have the ability to fix the atmospheric nitrogen. And finally, we will look into the symbiotic bacteria. Symbiotic bacteria in the sense they are mainly found associated with the plants. Okay, yes. So it is called as the examples mainly include the Rhizobium and the Frankia. Now, interestingly, the Rhizobium is mainly found in the case of legume plants. They are mainly found in the legume plants. Some of the examples for the legume plants antandre roots nalli nodules irtade. Okay, the roots of these plants actually have nodule like structures. These have nodule like structures. So such plants are actually called as the leguminous plants anta karitivi. The examples for mainly the legume plants include sweet clover, sweet pea, lentils, garden pea, alfalfa, okay, and clover beans. Such are examples for the legume plants. But whereas one more example we are having is the Frankia, which is mainly found with the non-legume plant roots. Non-legume plant roots. An example for this is the alnus. Non-legume is the alnus, right? So Frankia is mainly found with the, it is having an association with the non-legume plant roots, but whereas Rhizobium is mainly found with the legume plant roots, right? So let us now look into the nodule formation. Nodule formation is important for us. You will expect one question based upon the events of nodule formation in your NEET examination. And we have seen they will ask the question stating that serially arrange the events that leads to the nodule formation, right? That is how they will ask. So here we are looking into the way how the nodule formation actually takes place, right? So here we are having A and also the B, C, and D. What you can look over here, right? They have not mentioned this is B and this is C and this is D, right? Yeah, I think there is a misprint over here. Now you can see that these are actually the root, okay, the cortex, what we call, and these are the soil particles you are mentioned. They are mentioned over here, right? And these are called as the root hairs. The root hairs. These are called as the root hairs. And also here you find the bacteria that are mainly present near the root hairs. Generally, the bacteria in the soil are just randomly scattered. But however, the root hairs of the plants, they secrete some chemicals called as the chemoattractants. Chemoattractants. Okay, the chemoattractants are basically the nutrients or nutrient molecules which attract the bacteria. As a result, they come near the root hairs. They come near the root hairs. ಸೊ ಆ ಕೀಮೋ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದನೇ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ರೂಟ್ ಹೇರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ಹಾ. ಸೊ ನಾವ್ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್, ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿ ರೂಟ್ ಹೇರ್, the root hair starts to curl. The root hair, what happens, it starts to curl. Curl ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಿರುಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂಥರ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕರ್ವೇಚರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಕರ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನಾವು ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್, ದ ರೂಟ್ ಹೇರ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಕರ್ಲ್ಸ್. ಕರ್ವ್ ತರ ಆಗಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆ ಕರ್ವ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಕರ್ಲ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಏನೇನು ಅವೈಲೇಬಲ್ ಇರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ ಆ ಕರ್ಲ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಎನ್ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ನಾವ್ ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್, the bacteria make an infection thread. Okay, now infection thread is basically a tube like structure that actually ultimately allows the bacteria to enter into the innermost part of the root, that is the cortex. Okay, so you can see the bacteria gets modified into rod shaped bacteroids and they move into the inner cortical and pericycle cells to divide. ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಈ ಇನ್ನರ್ ಕಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪೆರಿಸೈಕಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಎಸ್. ನಾವು ದ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಆನ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಪೆರಿಸೈಕಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಲೀಡ್ ಟು ದಿ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ನೊಡ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ದ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ವೆರಿ ಈಸಿ. ದ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಆರ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ randomly scattered in the soil, but they are attracted towards the root hair because the root hair mainly produces some attractants. ಓಕೆ, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ರೂಟ್ ಹೇರ್ಸ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೋ ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೂಟ್ ಹೇರ್ಸು ಆ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾನ ಸರೌಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾನ ಕರ್ಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಕರ್ಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಥ್ರೆಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಟನಲ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ that allows the bacteria to move into the cortex of root, where they actually start the nodule formation in the cortex of the root. Okay, and these bacteria are released inside the cells. Bacteria ತರ ಶೇಪ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ಅದು ಕಾರ್ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪೆರಿಸೈಕಲ್ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಏನ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ನೊಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ನೊಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, right? So this is finally called as mature nodule. Now ಈ ನೊಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಂತದೇನಿದೆ, what does the nodule actually contain? Now interestingly, the nodule actually contains an enzyme called as the nitrogenase. Mainly contains an enzyme called as the nitrogenase, right? And why do we require nitrogenase? It is mainly required for conversion of what we can say nitrogen to ammonia, right? That is why the nitrogenase enzyme is actually required over here, right? And this nitrogenase is having some important properties. It is sensitive to oxygen. It is sensitive to oxygen. Nitrogenase enzyme is sensitive to oxygen. So as a result, to protect it from oxygen, what happens? The nodule is actually having an interesting protein molecule called as the leg hemoglobin. Okay, the leg hemoglobin is a protein molecule which is acting as an oxygen scavenger. It is acting as oxygen scavenger. Andre the requirement is that there should be no oxygen. There should be no ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ನೊಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ತರ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು. ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಇತ್ತಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಇಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಏನೋ ನೊಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಆಯ್ತು, ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬಂತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇರುವಂತ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ನೊಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದಿರ್ತದೆ ನಮಗೆ, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಮೋಗ್ಲೋಬಿನ್, ಲೆಗ್ ಹಿಮೋಗ್ಲೋಬಿನ್ ಅಂತ ರೆಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಎಸ್, ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಅವರ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಪಿಗ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಹಿಮೋಗ್ಲೋಬಿನ್. ಹಿಮೋಗ್ಲೋಬಿನ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಇದೆ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಲೆಗ್ ಹಿಮೋಗ್ಲೋಬಿನ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಜನರಲಿ ರೂಟ್ ನೊಡ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಪಿಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲರ್ ಕಾಣ್ತದೆ ನಮಗೆ. ದೇ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ಡ್ ದ ರೂಟ್ nodules are mainly pink in color because of presence of this molecule called as the hemoglobin, leg hemoglobin anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, right? So now what we can do is we can actually look into the steps. We will erase this. We can look into the reactions over here. Now this reaction is important. You can see that a single nitrogen, okay, with presence of 16 ATPs are required over here, and around what we can say 8 protons or 8 hydrogen atoms are actually required over here, right? Now you can see that the first stable product of this reaction, that is converting of nitrogen to the ammonia in the presence of a nitrogenase, right? Nitrogenase, which requires a molybdenum, remember, okay, it is a molybdenum iron protein, okay. These two molecules are actually required over here. Now nitrogen is converted into the first stable product, that is the ammonia, and for two ammonia molecules, how many ATPs are required? Around 16 ATPs are required. So for one ammonia we can say that around 8 ATPs are required. You have to remember this. 8 ATPs are actually required, we can say this, right? So this is the reaction that you have to remember over here. Now let us look into the diagrammatic representation that is showing the steps, okay, steps of nitrogen fixation over here. So here we are having nitrogenase enzyme, okay, nitrogenase enzyme which binds to the nitrogen molecule, and you can see it is having 3 bond over here. In the first step what happens, 2 hydrogen molecules are actually added and 1 bond is removed, okay. Again the second step is reduction as the previous one, where 2 more molecules are added to each nitrogen molecules, okay, and you can see that 1 more bond is removed. And in the final step we are having is that another bond of the nitrogen is removed. As a result, what happens, finally 2 more hydrogen are actually finally is added to release the products, that is the ammonia. Finally we are getting the ammonia, right? So now let us look into what is the fate of ammonia. Now what do we mean by fate of ammonia? The ammonia is actually produced in the root nodule. So this ammonia, if it is present in the form of ammonium ions, if it starts to accumulate in the form of ammonium ions, it is actually toxic. It is required in the form of nitrite, okay, nitrogen is present in the form of, required in the form of nitrite and a nitrate, okay, even ammonium ions, NO4 NH4 plus, okay, NH4 plus ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಅಮೋನಿಯಂ ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಗೆ NH4 plus ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ NH4 plus ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವೈಲೇಬಲ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಓಕೆ ಫೈನ್, ಓಕೆ, ಇನಿಷಿಯಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ಡ್, ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಗುಡ್, ಬಟ್ ಹವೆವರ್ ಬಹಳ ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಆತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಟಾಕ್ಸಿಕ್, ರೈಟ್? ಎಸ್. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಜನರಲಿ converted into other forms, okay. There are 2 steps, there are 2 fates of ammonia, okay. That is the first step, what the first fate is called as the reductive amination anta karitivi. The reductive amination is a reaction where the ammonium ions actually reacts with the, what we can say, alpha glutamic acid in the presence of NADPH with the enzyme called as glutamate dehydrogenase to give us a glutamate. The glutamate is actually the amino acid, right? Now this glutamate is used for the further process, okay. This is an amino acid which can be used for production of other important proteins, right? So the first step we are having is the reductive amination. But however, the most another pathway that commonly we see is the transamination. Now transamination is basically addition of the amino group from an amino acid to the keto acid. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಅಮೈನೋ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ನ ತೆಗೆದು ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಒಂದು ಅಮೈನೋ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಜನರಲಿ ದಿಸ್ ಅಮೈನೋ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟರ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಕೀಟೋ ಆಸಿಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಈ ಕೀಟೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ಗೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಆಡಿಂಗ್ ದ ಅನದರ್ ಅಮೈನೋ ಗ್ರೂಪ್. We are actually adding to this. We are adding the amino group to the keto acid to the carboxyl end, to mainly the carboxyl end, right? So generally you see that the most common amino acid that is involved in transferring of the amino group is the glutamic acid. Okay, glutamic acid generally yavaglunu amino donor agi work agutte anta heltivi. Okay, and this reaction actually requires an enzyme called as the transaminase. It mainly requires an enzyme called as the transaminase, right? So now what happens is there are two important amino acids, that is glutamine and asparagine, which are mainly formed from glutamic acid and aspartic acid. Okay, so aspartic acid ಮತ್ತು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಗ್ಲೂಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ನಮಗೆ ಗ್ಲೂಟಮೈನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತು ಆಸ್ಪಾರ್ಜಿನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಯಾವುದು ಅಮೈನೋ ರೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಟು ದಿ ಅಮೈಡ್ ರೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಟು ದಿ ಕಾರ್ಬಾಕ್ಸಿಲ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್. ಈ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ಸು ಯಾವುದು ಗ್ಲೂಟಮೈನ್ದು ಗ್ಲೂಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ಆಸ್ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ದು ಕಾರ್ಬಾಕ್ಸಿಲ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಅಮೈಡ್ ರೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಮೈಡ್ ರೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಾರ್ಬಾಕ್ಸಿಲ್ ಗ್ರೂಪಿಗೆ ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಅಂಡ್ ಫೈನಲಿ ದೇ ಕಂಟೇನ್ ಹೈ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್. ಆಸ್ ಎ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದಿ different parts of the plant body through the xylem transpiration stream. But in some cases, some examples, for example we are having is the soybean. Okay, soybean alli enagutte antandre the fixed nitrogen is transported through the xylem in the form of urids anta karitivi. Now urids are actually derivatives from the urea. They are mainly derived from the urea. Okay, even they also contain high nitrogen is to carbon ratio. Okay, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಯೂರಿಡ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಸೋಯಾಬೀನ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ transported through the xylem transpiration stream. So we have discussed all parts of the whole chapter. From second part of the chapter we will start to discuss few important questions over here. The first question is the enzyme nitrogenase. The enzyme involved in the nitrogen assimilation is nitrogenase, nitrate reductase, transferase, transaminase. Right? So nitrogen assimilation ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು, NH3 ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಮೋನಿಯಾ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಈ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾವ ಎಂಜೈಮು? ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ nitrogenase. Now in the second question, the nitrifying bacteria. Okay, nitrifying bacteria ಅಂತಂದ್ರೇನು, ಅಮೋನಿಯಾ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದನ್ನ ನೈಟ್ರೈಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಫ್ರಮ್ ಅಮೋನಿಯಾ ಟು nitrite, right? Yes, or nitrates. The nitrifying bacteria, what do they do? The first is convert the free nitrogen to the ammonia. No. The conversion of proteins to the ammonia. No. The third option is reduction of nitrates to free nitrogen. This is called as denitrification. Adu madangilla. Okay. So last option is oxidizes the ammonia to nitrates. Exactly. This is what the nitrifying bacteria will do. Okay, conversion of ammonia to the nitrates and nitrites, right? Nitrifying bacteria anta ಕರಿತೀವಿ. The third question we are having is the bacteria that converts the ammonia to the nitrite is the first one we are having is the Nitrobacter, the next is Nitrosomonas, next one is we are having Pseudomonas, Mycobacterium, right? Nitrobacter actually converts the nitrite to nitrate. Okay, ammonia to nitrate ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, nitrate ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಹೌದಾ? ಈ first step of reaction is mainly done by the ಯಾವುದು Nitrosomonas, right? Nitrosomonas is mainly involved in converting the ammonia to the nitrite, right? But what about the other bacteria? Next one, Nitrosomonas, or also one more is the Nitrococcus, right? We have to remember these two examples which convert the ammonia to nitrite. Okay, nitrite ಇದ್ದದ್ದು ಮುಂದೆ ನಮಗೆ ನೈಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ನೈಟ್ರೋಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಹೌದಾ? ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಏನು ಕೇಳಿದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಮೋನಿಯಾ ಟು ನೈಟ್ರೈಟ್ ಅಂತ ತಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಬಿ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಓವರ್ ಹಿಯರ್. Now, the fourth question, amino acids are mostly synthesized from mineral salts, okay, volatile acids, fatty acids, and alpha ketogluteric acid. Okay, the answer is alpha ketogluteric acid. You will study this in the Krebs cycle. Okay, Krebs cycle alli ಬರ್ತದೆ ನಮಗೆ ಇದು. Okay, generally ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ದು ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಮನ್ ಪ್ರಿಕರ್ಸರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾಮನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ದಿ ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಎ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಎ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಓನ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಕಿಟೋಗ್ಲೂಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರೆಬ್ಸ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಎಸ್. ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ plants such as peas, beans that have a nitrogen fixing bacteria in their roots, they belong to which of the following families? Okay, the first option is the Leguminosae, Orchidaceae, Astraceae, and Solanaceae. So it's very easy question. It is, they are called as legume plants, and artheno ya family belong abaku Leguminosae, right? So it's a easy question. The sixth question we are having is the first stable product of a nitrogen fixation is, now ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ ammonia. The first stable fixed product of the nitrogen fixation is the ammonia. Nitrate ಮುಂದೆ ಬರ್ತಾವೆ, ammonia ions ಮುಂದೆ ಬರ್ತವೆ. Okay, now the amides are mainly transported to other parts of the plant via xylem, xylem. Okay, next one, companion cells, phloem, and both A and C. No, the answer is xylem transpiration stream mukhantarane ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ mainly you see that the amides are actually transported. The next question, the cofactor that is mainly required for the nitrogenase enzyme is molybdenum, sulfur, copper, zinc. It is very well known. Molybdenum is the right answer over here. Molybdenum is mainly required for the activity as a cofactor for the nitrogenase enzyme. Oda? Now, the next one we are having is select the correct statement over here. Select the correct statement about the leg hemoglobin, right? It is an oxygen scavenger. It is related to blood pigment hemoglobin, and it mainly protects the nitrogenase, right? So we know that leg hemoglobin is actually present where? It is mainly present in the legume. Legume ಅಂತಂದ್ರೇನು? ರೂಟ್ ನೊಡ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್, ಹೌದಾ? ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ರೂಟ್ ನೊಡ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ, ಹೌದಾ? ರೂಟ್ ನೊಡ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಪಿಂಕ್ ಅಪಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡೋದು ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಲೆಗ್ ಹಿಮೋಗ್ಲೋಬಿನ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಲೆಗ್ ಹಿಮೋಗ್ಲೋಬಿನ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾವೆಂಜರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ಅಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ದ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜಿನಸ್ ಎನ್ಸೈಮ್, and it is very much similar to the our own blood pigment, that is hemoglobin. Hence the option is all of these. Okay, all the above statements A, B, C are actually true. Now the next one, select the correct match. Okay, Nitrosomonas ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ? nitrite to nitrate ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Next one is Theobacillus, mainly is involved in denitrification. Nostoc, free leaving nitrogen fixer. Next is Azotobacter, anaerobic nitrogen fixer. ಸೊ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿದೆ? 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 2 and 3, 2 and 4. See, if you look over here, the first statement, the first option, nitrosomonas is not involved in converting the nitrite to nitrate. Okay, it is mainly ammonia to the nitrite. Okay, this step is actually done by the nitrobacter. We all know this. So hagagi this is the wrong option. Okay, so next one we are having Theobacillus, denitrification. Haudu madutte idu. And finally we are having Nostoc, which is a free living cyanobacteria, and it is also involved in nitrogen fixation. Haudu, it is true. And Azotobacter, no, it is not anaerobic nitrogen fixation. It is actually free living and aerobic, actually chemoautotrophs anta karitivi. So hagagi the right answer over here is 2 and 3. So according to the given options, C is the right answer over here. Now finally, one more question we will look into over here. The nitrogen fixation by the organisms mainly requires the condition that are highly alkaline, anaerobic, saturated with sunlight, free of water. Okay, so we said that the nitrogenase enzyme should be protected from the oxygen. It means that all the reactions of converting nitrogen to ammonia should occur in the absence of oxygen. Hence we can say that it is anaerobic. The right answer over here is it is anaerobic. Now one more question we are having is, which of the following represents the abiotic mode of nitrogen fixation? Okay, abiotic means the role of which abiotic factor is involved in nitrogen fixation. Okay, lightning and ammonification, nitrification, temperature. It is lightning. We all know lightning is mainly involved in converting the nitrogen to nitrogen oxides. Nitrogen oxides, they are converted into further ammonia, right? We know this. So hence the right answer is A. The next question. The enzyme dash, which is capable of nitrogen reduction, is present exclusively in the case of prokaryotes. So such microbes are called as a dash. Okay, hydrogenase and N2 fixers, nitrogenase and N2 fixers, hydrogenase and aerobic microbes, nitrogenase and aerobic microbes. So we are, of course, these microbes are called as nitrogen fixers, but however they are actually aerobic microbes. They are actually what? Aerobic microbes, and they contain nitrogenase enzyme. We know this. So the answer is, so this for the first part it is nitrogenase. Okay, it is the nitrogenase. Okay, and we call them as an N2 fixers. Of course, that is also true, but in general these microbes are also aerobic microbes. They're also what? Aerobic microbes. So we can see that B and D option both are very much similar for our discussion over here. So we can say that the right option over here is B. Okay, such microbes are called as N2 fixers, and these N2 fixers are actually aerobic microbes. Remember that also. Aerobic microbes kuda irtave, andre ನೊಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಆನರೋಬಿಕ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾವ, ಅವಕ್ಕೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ವೇರ್ ಆಸ್ ರೂಟಿನ ಹೊರಗಡೆ, ನೊಡ್ಯೂಲಿನ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ aerobic in nature. Remember this. ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ this question is quite tricky. Both B and D can be true, but however we can say that based upon the question, such prokaryotes, such microbes are called as N2 fixers ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬಹಳ appropriate ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So B is the right answer over here. Now, the number of ATP molecules that are consumed in production of 2 ammonia, right, is 4, 16, 38, 56. We know it is 16. 16 ATP molecules are mainly consumed in the production of 2 ammonia molecules. So for single ammonia, around 8 ATPs are used. Now, the nodule of soybean exports the fixed nitrogen in the form of amides, glycerides, hydrocarbons, urides. It is urides. We have just discussed this point. ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ urides ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೈ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಟು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. Which of the following statements about the chemical process of nitrogen fixation is not true ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು. It is not true ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. It is enhanced by oxygen concentration. Energy is needed in the form of ATP. All the three bonds of nitrogens are broken. Hydrogen atoms are added to form ammonia. So, yes, hydrogen atoms are added to form ammonia. All the three bonds of the nitrogen are also broken. Energy is formed required in the form of ATP, but the whole reaction occurs in the absence of oxygen. Oxygen irlardag agtadu. Okay, so it cannot be enhanced by oxygen concentration. Instead adenagutte oxygen idre enagutte inhibit agutte reactions. Hauda? So not true andre A is the right answer over here. A is the right answer over here, right? Now one more question we will look into. The process of the transfer of amino group from one amino acid to the keto group of the keto acid is called as oxidative amination, reductive amination, transamination, deamination. ಹೌದಾ? ನಾವು ಫೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಮೋನಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. ಏನು? ಒಂದು ರಿಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಅಮೈನೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಮೈನೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದಿದ್ವಿ. ಸೊ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಮೈನೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಅಮೈನೋ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕೀಟೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಕೀಟೋ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ವಿತ್ ದ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಅನ್ ಎನ್ಸೈಮ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಮೈನೇಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಸಿ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಓವರ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ನಾಟ್ ದಿ ರಿಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಅಮೈನೇಷನ್. ನೌ let us look into a few more questions. So now the following statements about the nodule formation are made. Select the serially arranged options. The first statement is formation of infection thread and carrying the bacteria to the root cortex. Next is nodule formation and establishment of vascular connection with the host. Rhizobium multiplies and colonizes the surrounding root hairs and gets attached. Release of bacteria and initiation of nodule formation and the differentiation of cells to root nodules. Root hair curls and bacteria invade into the root hair. ಸೊ ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ಆಗಿ ಜಂಬಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಯಾವುದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸೀರಿಯಲಿ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ವಿ ನೋ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರೈಸೋಬಿಯಾ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಸೋಬಿಯಮ್ ರೂಟ್ ಹೇರ್ ಕಡೆ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಲೊನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ ನಾವು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ರೈಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್. ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ. ಸೊ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ನಿಯರ್ ಟು ದಿ ರೂಟ್ ಹೇರ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ರೂಟ್ ಹೇರ್ ಕರ್ಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಫಿಫ್ತ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ this will be the second statement. So first event idagutte, second event idagutte. ಹೌದಾ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಿ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ರೂಟ್ ಕರ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಥ್ರೆಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ ನಾವು. ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಓವರ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಟೆಲ್ಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಥ್ರೆಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಿ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಇವೆಂಟು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಥ್ರೆಡ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ನಾವು ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ನೀವು, ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಅಂಡ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ನೊಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಇಂಟು ನೊಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ಎಸ್, ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಅವರ್ ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಹೌದಾ? ಅಂಡ್ ಫೈನಲಿ ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದು ಯಾವ್ದಪ್ಪ, ನಮಗೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ, ಯಾವುದು, ನೊಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಸ್ಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್, ರೈಟ್? So this will be obviously the last part. So either basis ಮೇಲೆ ಇದರಂಗೆ ನಾವು ಸೀರಿಯಲ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತ ಹೋದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಯಾ, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಓವರ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಲುಕ್ ಓವರ್. ಥರ್ಡ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಇದೆ ಅದು, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಇದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಭಾಳ ಸಲ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಅನ್ ಅಪಿಯರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಯುವರ್ ನೀಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್. ನೌ ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಲುಕ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್. That is the reductive amination reaction is carried out by which enzyme? Glutamate dehydrogenase, nitrogenase, transaminase, none of the above. It is glutamate dehydrogenase. We know this. Alright, easy question there. Now, last question we are having. Identify the right statements from the following. The amino acid formation through the transamination requires nitrogenase enzyme. Okay. and amides contain more nitrogen than amino acids. Okay, and soybean transports the fixed nitrogen as urids through the transpiration streams. And transamination involves the transfer of keto group from keto acid to amino group of amino acid. Howda? So idರಲ್ಲಿ if we remember, second statement and the third statement are actually true. ಹೌದು, ಅಮೈಡ್ಸ್ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಕಿನಾನು ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋಕಿನಾನು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಸೋಯಾಬೀನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯುರೈಡ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಯಾವುದು ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೆಡ್. ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಇಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಅಮೈನೇಷನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಮೈನೋ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಇಂದ ಕೀಟೋ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಕೀಟೋ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಇಂದ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಹೋಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ರಾಂಗ್. ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಅಮೈನೇಷನ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಅಮೈನೇಸ್ enzyme, but not nitrogenase. So second and third statement are actually correct. So based upon this, the D option is your right answer over here, right? So we will stop our discussion over here. We have looked into around 20 questions, and totally we have looked into sufficient number of questions. So you can take any other material and try to solve more and more questions. That is how you can look into more variety of questions. So we will stop our discussion over here then, and we will meet in the next class, where we will start our discussion with a very important chapter, that is photosynthesis. So students, we will meet in the next video. Thank you.